Alabama versus LSU pregame special, sponsored by Alpha Insurance and Zaxby's.
Hello and welcome to our number 5 Alabama versus number 16 LSU pregame special. In the next 20 minutes, we'll break down everything you need to know for tonight's big game. I'm Chase Horn, and live in Baton Rouge is the other half of our team, sports director Ryan Cody, who's been camped out in Louisiana since Thursday. Ryan, what can you tell us about that atmosphere?
Well, I can tell you, Chase, that this game means a whole lot to a whole lot of people. Two of the most passionate fan bases in America are colliding here in Death Valley tonight. Certainly, the stage has been set and the red carpet has been rolled out for these two heavyweights to clash here in Death Valley. It's been one of the greatest rivalries over the years in college athletics, and the tailgate in Baton Rouge, nothing to mess with. Plenty of purple and gold. Don't worry, Bama fans, you're well represented too. We arrived on campus just before noon today, and the party had already been going on for hours. Some fans even camped out overnight. And there he is, Nick Saban and the Tide arriving in Death Valley just after 5 o'clock. Blake Sims clearly in the zone. He'll be getting his first start in Tiger Stadium tonight. And there is Amari Cooper. Alabama needs a big game from Coop as he continues to lead the SEC in receiving. And now you are looking live at gate number 1 outside Tiger Stadium from high above Skylink 19. The party shifting from outside to inside. There are a lot of great tailgates out there in the SEC. This one good too, but in terms of hostile environments, Death Valley has to be number 1. It's been the greatest home field advantage in college sports over the last decade. A poll of Division I college coaches earlier this year says the Tigers are 62-8 here since 2005. Les Miles and the Tigers have a lot to do with it, but the Tigers faithful bring a little voodoo to the situation as well. Blake Sims recalls his visit in 2012.
When we showed up, our bus was rocking. And I was just like, I'm just thinking like, what's Coach Saban saying to himself? And like, are these people crazy? Like, are they allowing these people doing this? You know, it's just crazy. And I'm just glad that we went in that year and won the game, because when we came out, nobody was to be found.
We come into Tiger Stadium and it is a live environment. There's energy in the crowd. Our guys play off of it. They feed on it.
They feed on it even more at night, but maybe the wrong word there. How about drink? Because when the crowd has an entire afternoon to tailgate, LSU is 46-3 under Les Miles. During that time, the only teams to win here after the sun goes down are Tennessee, Florida, and Alabama. Each of them has only done it once, but overall, the Tide very successful against LSU. Winners of 3 straight and 5 of the last 7, including that 21-0 win in the BCS national title game just a few years back. But even that season, LSU beat Bama in Tuscaloosa, so you never really know what you're going to get from this rivalry, and that's what makes it one of college football's best.
Definitely feed off of it. I mean, it just brings more emotion, brings more fire to my game, and just being in that home state, hearing my name get booed because of I chose Alabama, definitely fires me up about it.
What makes it a great rivalry is all the above. It's really two great teams usually, really every time we play, like you said. Great fan bases on both sides and great coaches.
It's a great game, and you know this game is going to go down in history for you, and you just want to be the team that plays good and end up having the W at the end of the day.
Now, it's really not even out of the question for Blake Sims to use this game and the word history in the same sentence. Think of all the players over the years who've cemented their legacy at Alabama and LSU just in this game alone. And Chase Horn rejoins us now once again. Chase, November 8th, it's a day that we had circled on our calendar back in August. But just a few weeks ago, we didn't know how big this game would be nationally. So what is it? How big is it now?
Yeah, that's right, Ryan. If you rewind just a little bit back to September 20th, the Crimson Tide and Tigers were even more highly ranked than they are now. Alabama number 3 in the Associated Press poll, with LSU not far behind at 8. But rough patches for both schools put today's top 20 matchup in jeopardy. Alabama versus LSU, number 5 against number 16, something that 4 weeks ago would have seemed impossible. The Crimson Tide had just lost a tough one to Ole Miss in Oxford, then followed that by barely surviving an Arkansas team that hasn't won a conference game in 2 seasons. LSU was in worse shape, trying to pick up the pieces after losing its second game in 3 weeks, a 41-7 spanking by Auburn, but despite the struggles, both coaches stayed positive, believing their teams could turn it around.
Every goal that we have, as a team is still in front of us, but we have to improve and we have to respond the right way to losing.
If we get this offense moving the football, and we're really close, but we have to, improve there. This defense is giving great effort and energy.
And they were right. Both the Tigers and Tide have won 3 straight setting up today's big game, one the schools had extra time to prepare for. Both Alabama and LSU have taken byes before playing each other since 2010, something that's supposed to help. But remember, the Tide had the week off before playing the Rebels.
We didn't have good practices last bye week, and this bye week we tried to have better practices so we can keep our same momentum that we have been having.
A little bit of it is mindset of your players in terms of how they look at it. How do you reestablish the sort of mental focus, intensity, whatever you want to call it, to get back into, game week mode.
And now, Ryan, it's crazy to think that after that loss to Auburn, the Tigers dropped out of the rankings for the first time since 2008. As far as Alabama goes, I was there at the loss to Ole Miss. It definitely seemed like the rest of the SEC West had just caught up to the Crimson Tide. But, of course, I should know better than to doubt Nick Saban. He has his team back up here at number 5.
Yeah, that'll teach you, Chase. What are you even thinking over there?
I don't
to
know.
Your point, I was in Auburn. Yeah, I was in Auburn that day as well. And, I really thought that the word rebuilding was not out of the question when you were talking about LSU. Obviously, they've gotten the run game going, and things have really picked up from there. But that game was really over in the first quarter. Les Miles has these guys playing some inspired football right now. Yeah, so thanks, Chase. We'll rejoin you back here in just a few minutes.
Good.
But, hey, if you want to know how Bama and LSU turn their seasons around, I'll give you a hint. It's old school, it's Smash Mouth, and it's coming up right after the break when we return live from Baton Rouge.